Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Media every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button and share with your friends and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Many of you have always asked me, how can we help to make this channel grow? I would request you that any subscription of any amount, small or big, will be appreciated when the program goes live. And if you could do it, this helps our channel grow. And if you think that our channel stands for truth, this is the only way we can grow because we don't have any sponsors or patrons, and we grow in our own small way. Thank you so much. Now, the latest news is that before we start on the Rhea story, is that Netflix is going to drop 90% of the upcoming Indian web series and movies after a huge dip in subscriptions. And they are keen to take a new route. Netflix India is apparently set to take some drastic steps and go for a complete revamp of its Indian content in order to stem the perpetual decline and entice new viewers. Netflix seems to be pressing the panic button, considering it hasn't had the best of times of late. The OTT giant has been dwindling numbers all across the board, with both rating and subscribers falling drastically in India and more so in Western countries, which accounts for the major chunk of Netflix's user base. However, sticking to their business in India, the fall has been even more worrying, as word is that the company is yet to turn over a profit for a single financial year ever since its inception in the country. And this comes exactly at a time when Gangubai Kathiawadi has come on the OTT. So I don't know whether it's the effects of this movie that Netflix has hit Netflix so hard. Now let's move to the main topic. So as I speak, I'll just also go to the PowerPoint, friends. So let me just add the PowerPoint. Yeah. So before we go to the actual Rhea story, what I'd like to just give you a little bit of an introduction. We've been running this Justice for Sushant Singh Rajput sessions ever since he was murdered, most gruesomely. And often I have received comments that say, in India, we don't get justice. Everyone is corrupt, right from the politicians to the policemen. Well, there seems to be at least some saving grace, which is divine justice. If, for a moment, you look at what happened to Suraj Pancholi after SSR died, and also after Jia Khan died. He had to keep appearing for the trials in court, some of which he never attended, and filmmakers were also coerced by his father to feature him, and they were even beaten up for retreating. We've seen several incidents where people were forced to take Suraj Pancholi in their films, and they have sort of backed out because there's no demand for his movie. Because whenever they go to financiers, they would say this actor is not going to get us back our money. So this has hit him way below. And the fact remains that he never got any offers, and the only one featuring him was Katrina's Plain Jane sister, which also did not make even a sound. Thus, Jia Khan and SSR had sealed his fate, and divine forces had already decided his path. This was number one. So, at the best, he can help his father in whatever nefarious activities they indulge in. Another example, which is also right on your face, is a sweet solace for many, is that Papa Penguin, as news has it, had a spinal problem. Well, many of us wonder whether he had a spine at all, which was aggravated, the spinal problem was aggravated by a botched up spinal surgery by top Indian surgeons. Foreign doctors were called in, and the end result is he was bedridden for quite some time. And now he can only walk with the help of a male nurse. You'll always see a man catching his hand as he walks. Now, what exactly happened to SSR during his death? His spine was broken to bits and his body was propped up to look as if nothing had happened. Along with all other wounds, this was the most glaring one. We know karma acts and acts fast. Along with the justice for SSR, the boycott Bollywood movement started, and the fate of bigger wigs like SRK, Akshay Kumar, Farhan Akhtar and family, Mahesh Bhatt and family, Salman Khan, Amir Khan, all the Khans, the Boni Kapoor types, all got sealed. SSR was a Shiva Bhatt, and we can see the wrath here. Overnight, the film industry became paupers, and they had to run to South Indian superstars to, replan their future and learn how to make their bread and butter. Now, returning to the woman who has been pointed out as a honey trap in many reports, Rhea Chakraborty. In yesterday's diary reading by Deepthi Pinati, what was revealed was that Sushant had become very suspicious of Rhea when she called different people from her phone when they were in their European trip, and when questioned, she said she was speaking to her dad. He knew that she was planted in his life. He wrote about that to closely monitor what he did and report it to the people who controlled her. In fact, almost a month after SSR died, SSR's father filed an FIR against Rhea at the Rajiv Nagar police station in Patna on 28 July 2020. Later, a 4-team member of Patna police left to Mumbai to question Rhea and her family. Her father said that Sushant was in the complete possession of Rhea and she had full control over his finances, including his bank accounts and credit cards. He also said that Sushant called his sister and told her that Rhea had threatened him to show the doctor's receipts to the media that would prove SSR was mad. Thereafter, no person would give him work. Now, here you would very clearly know, friends, that everything she did, she was into lavish shopping. She was, in a month she was going several times to Goa, and we know the drug connection which was revealed by the mainstream media between her and what was happening with Gaurav, a hotelier in Goa, and how they were cross-questioned by the ED and the narcotics department. Now, she was accused of her role in his death. She was the main accused, and also misappropriating his wealth. Rhea thus became a part of a parallel probe into alleged drug procurement on the basis of her WhatsApp chats. And thus she became the subject of intense scrutiny via social media as well as media, and thus she was forced to go into seclusion before she was jailed. And even after she was jailed, there were many attempts to whitewash this person. Now, see here, what I'd like to, why I'm showing pictures of Mahesh Bhatt is, before leaving SSR's house, she had written to the man who had manipulated and guided her through this whole episode. It was none other than Mahesh Bhatt and his family, because Mahesh Bhatt and his other brother also feature in her life. Mahesh Bhatt had said that she had told Mahesh Bhatt in her chat that he had unclipped her wings and that she would make him proud. And he had responded that you have already done it. It takes guts to do what you did, so don't look back. Now, this is very strange, friends, because when she talks about unclipping her wings, what is she talking about? Because the moment she said she got a go ahead from Mahesh Bhatt, that's when she left SSR's flat and moved away with all her belongings. So now through also the fact that those who do not know, please hear SSR's diaries, whether it is in Hindi or in English. All the versions are there in our sessions. See how Sushant has very clearly said that the main person behind this is Mahesh Bhatt, and how through his sweet talk, what he has done to him. So this is very important. You need to read that to understand what actually happened to Sushant Singh before he died. So this man's relationship, if we're looking at Mahesh Bhatt's relationship with most young women in Bollywood, it has revealed a very sleazy side to this man's character. Plus, you also remember his nephew's wife, Levena, speaking about how drugs were given to actors during shoots, telling them that they would perform better and that he would be sometimes violent with the stars and slap them if he desired. Ironically, what Rhea told Sushant's sister is exactly what is happening to her now. If you look at the producers, earlier she was, a lot of, noise was made about Chehre because, see, everybody said that since Rhea is in it, everybody will watch it. But ironically, the moment her face came on the posters, no one was willing to touch her. And social media was, all full of boycott Bollywood, and also the fact that Rhea is the main accused and no one will watch her films. So because of, after this Chehre fiasco, where the producer Anand Pandit first used her image with Amitabh and Imran Hashmi, public anger in social media made them understand that no one was going to watch the film. And this is when they removed, her poster. So if you look at the earlier picture, you will see her posing with the Chehre group. That means everybody, including the producer, Anand Pandit, Amitabh Bachchan, and others. And Rumi Jaffrey. You remember she was very close to Rumi Jaffrey. So in these pictures, you see that she is an important part of the crew. But when the picture actually came, and anyway the picture flopped, but in the poster, she was nowhere to be seen. So you just see the way, things were acting in her favor. Against her, I mean, not in her favor, against her, So if you look at also the fact that, see, even before this, she did not have any significant movie to talk about. The only few movies that she had was Mere Dad Ki, Maruti, and Jalebi. Both were huge flops. And it is at this time, she started, going viral on Instagram, like some politicians are, to get attention. And she started putting wise sayings, even to which she doesn't give credit to the writer. She puts them as if it is hers, and she says, she's going to do many things in her life. But again, this is just another act to get attention. And we also know through this, the diaries, especially the one that was read in Hindi yesterday, that when Sushant received a call from Kwan, and he was asked to meet certain people. That's when Sushant realized that there was something really wrong with Rhea Chakraborty. We all know that she entered his life through Kwan, where women are, given a sort of a, as they report, an escort status, and they are sent to parties where drugs are given. All this has been exposed by the mainstream media. Everything that I'm mentioning here has already been said by the mainstream media, and there is nothing that is, coming from our side. It's purely, I've just collated everything to understand what this woman is undergoing. So we all know that she entered his life through Kwan, and this company belongs to Salman Khan is something that he has denied, knowing that he would be, in deep problem if he's, admitted that the company belonged to him. So in this call, Sushant was asked to meet certain people, and he was also following Mahesh Bhatt's advice at this time. Now, this is all as per what he has written in his diary. Here, when he goes there, he meets Salman Khan, Dino Moria, Imtiaz Khatri, and Salman Khan's bodyguard. They're all present there, and they beat him up. They beat him up in such a way that no injuries will be shown physically, but he will bear the pain for many, many weeks. So this was what they had in store for him, and this was a warning for him, saying that, see, this is just a like a sort of a taster. But if you go further and start finding out what's exactly happening behind the scenes, then it's going to be much more serious. So this is something that there are lots of things that in the that are exposed in the diary. Now, what she did was, Rhea did was, you remember at this time, she inched closer to him and took him to Europe and drugged him, as per the WhatsApp conversations she had with Jaya Saha of Kwan. And she was all this was exposed by Times Now and Republic. Then later he was put in a Waterstone spa where he was further drugged till he was moved to the new house. And here Rhea completely changed the staff and kept new people known to the cabal. This is also something Sushant has specifically said written in his diary, and how the drugging continued. Excerpts of these scenes were shown in ZTV. She tried many things with the help of her lawyer, Manishinde, Satish Manishinde, actually sponsored by Salman Khan, because this man is the most expensive lawyer in Mumbai, and he is sort of a heavy duty Bollywood savior. So whoever makes any sort of problems, this guy comes to save him. Now, Manishinde tried to help whitewash her in certain channels that, of course, accept money, which was openly said by Z. So she was shown in India Today and CNN IBN, trying to give us the sob story about how she really loved Sushant, and she was just being sort of targeted by people. And it was at this time that she also used, as I said, Instagram, like many politicians and other item girls do, to get attention, and sent lovey-dovey messages to show that she was innocent. This also failed. Then she ran around, a town attending weddings. So here you will also see, here you will see some of the people that Sushant has mentioned, which is Imtiaz, Suraj, Dina Moria. And also, see, it was at this time that Republic had not shied away from revealing a lot of the WhatsApp chats. Times Now had also done it till they made a U-turn. Otherwise, everything about the drugs and the way Jaya Saha had told her how to give drugs to Sushant in water so that he doesn't even know about it, was the main what do you say, content of the chat. So everybody knows that he was not a drug addict. The people around him were trying to drug him, and under the control of this woman. Now, this is all already exposed through mainstream media. Then she ran around, town attending weddings, trying to gather attention. The first wedding that she attended was of Siddharth Pitani, who was also one of the accused in the crime, and he's still in custody. And he especially invited Rhea. And Sushant has also mentioned that somewhere in between he started suspecting Siddharth Pitani also, and that he was on the side of Rhea. Then so it was, she started thinking that she was quite a celebrity, and that by attending these weddings she would become even more famous. The next wedding that we saw her at was Rumi Jaffrey's daughter's wedding. You also know that she was very, very close to Rumi Jaffrey. When Sushant Singh was in the Waterstone Spa, he used to visit her very often, and reports came in that he was locked in a room, and Rumi Jaffrey would spend a lot of time with Rhea Chakraborty. So these were all things that were, elaborated upon, at that time. And another wedding that she recently attended was with her close friends Shibani and Farhan Akhtar. You remember, her servant also started working in their place after the demise of Sushant. So these are the people who supported her when all the guns were pointed in her direction. So what was the reason that the Farhan Akhtar and these people were doing it? Of course, we can also guess who was giving the instructions. So this is also nothing. The weddings that she chose to get herself back into the limelight, but that too failed. And then she came into public saying that she underwent the most tough 2.5 years. Here you see another picture where Shabana Azmi who is another person who's always, talking ill against India or about the Prime Minister. I mean, whenever she talks about India, there's so much bile in her tone when she tweets. So you look at the way she smiles when Rhea enters. We all know the kind of background, and look at the way they, behave with each other. It's shocking. Yeah, so it's at this time that she said she used to talk to media, and media would, photographers would follow her whenever she was shopping for vegetables or anything, and she would say that she underwent the most tough 2.5 years at this time. And she also elaborated on how the lockdown treated her. She said it's been a lot of healing and like coming back to normalcy with baby steps at a time. So, other than that, like work, I'm hoping something will happen soon. So, fingers crossed. She tried everything. She even tried walking on the fashion ramp. But the image that she had bought for herself was, would not allow her to become successful in anything that she did. Then the next thing that she did was she went for a party to an island near Bombay. And this was the party of one of her, co-actors. And she went there for this party with Manish Malhotra. Now, we all know Manish Malhotra when you look at the context of Sri Devi's death. So these are all people, the same people, a part of the cabal. And you see, they all work in the same way. So what is she doing with these people in an island? Is the next question. So is she doing a dance item? Is she, was she entertaining? Was she an escort? We do not know. But there's something very sinister about the movement. Now, mainly because people see her, as the woman responsible for SSR's death. And the stigma will remain with her till she dies. And that is if justice is not meted out to her and she's jailed for life. Looks like the divine forces have told her position. And if politicians or leaders and judges cannot ensure that the country will get justice, we can only say that let's leave it to the supreme forces. Because when people like Rhea Chakraborty and Suraj, Pancholi and SRK and Akshay Kumar, all of them have become jobless and are looking for a few crumbs from superstars in the south, there is something definitely working. And this is a divine force. Friends, I invite you to come and join me and for a discussion on this. So I leave the lines open. You're welcome to join me. So let me just add you, whoever would like to join us. Yeah. So let me also take uh, some of the comments. Manish Malhotra and Karan Johar too. Looks like they are escaping divine justice. Absolutely. Tom and Jerry says, mentally sick people. Absolutely. When probably ARR's dad or mom were very ill, they had prayed at a Sufi saint, to a Sufi saint, and they recovered. They were told to convert to Islam by the Imam, I heard. What is it that they know or have been promised or believe that separates them from us? We still cannot see Sushant's pic without eyes filled with tears. What is it that they know? It's absolutely so well said, N. I don't have your full name, but you've so brilliantly summed it up. Because, when Deepthi read the diary in Hindi yesterday, I was so upset when I heard, that Sushant is being called for a meeting by these goons. What is the qualification of these goons? And who are they to teach him a lesson? You mean to say nobody can work in a film industry without goon power? So can you imagine? See, these 7 to 8 production homes, whether it's Ekta Kapoor or whether it is Aditya, Chopra, or whether it is, Salman Khan's, do you mean to say they are going to control your film career? And just because Sushant did not fit in, he had to be eliminated? So if you don't join these production homes and follow their rules, and give them a portion of whatever you earn, that means you will be killed. What is this? What sort of a fraternity is this? Karthik, correct. And I will not be surprised if they do not try to do something to Yash from South industry as they're jealous of his success. Yes, if you look at them just right, they're all falling at the feet of these South Indian actors because they feel that they have already got the ingredients to success. And I find that all these actresses like Katrina Kaif and all, Alia Bhatt and all, falling at their feet. And they make fun of them even at press conferences, and then after that lick their boots. Absolutely shameless. Karthik, correct. I will not be surprised if they, yeah, that's right. Yash attained the star status on his own merit, and many stars in Canada were very jealous of him. They tried to stop his films from releasing during his early days. Manish acts like he's the best friend to all actresses, yes. Ma'am, SSR fit in, but not like they wanted him to. Yes, absolutely. I always wondered what Crocodile was doing, even with Mithudi, before CBI office. Let me just take some of your earlier questions as well. Best news of the day: Netflix is going down. Boycott Bollywood. I'm very happy about it because the content is so bad, and most of them hit at Hinduism. Thank you, Gloria. Bollywood threw a party for the incoming chief. Netflix is paying the price for playing with the sentiments of Hindus. Exactly. Welcome, Shilpa. Good evening, Bindya. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes, Tom. Always nice to see you guys. Aparna, Gloria. We're not wishing I'll for anyone, but their own wrongdoings are coming back to them. Yes. Here, Gloria, what I'd like to say is that, see, without a court, without politicians' help, or without the police, aid, these people are getting what they deserve. And just look at the way Shah Rukh Khan is hiding from cameras. What's happening? What is he scared of? A very crucial eyewitness of the Cordelia Cruz drug episode is dead. Who killed him? So what is Shah Rukh Khan scared of? And why would this man die? I mean, who had some enmity with him? Who wanted this man to be removed from the scene? And who wanted? Apparently, this is to protect someone. Who is this person? And who wants to protect someone? We all know who it is. If you look at Akshay Kumar, he's busy, apologizing to everyone for whatever he does because nobody is watching his films. People are begging to watch Gangubai Kathiawadi, in OTT. And you look at Netflix, they're removing all the shows. So there goes Alia's, last hope. Ankita, I always wondered what Crocodile was doing even with Nithudi. Thank you, Shad, for being a subscriber. It's very important for us and for also, for making the channel grow. Very kind of you and very thoughtful of you. All my friends here, I would ask you if you feel that this channel, speaks the truth and allows you to, voice your thoughts. Please subscribe and pay in whatever format so that our channel can grow and become bigger. Thank you once again, Shad. Maharani, these people get used to luxury, which their earnings bring, and become very greedy. Hence, to sustain their lifestyle, they will resort to any form of earning. Absolutely. See, if they don't do it, they don't become a part of the cabal. So, it all depends on the kind of principles that you have, whether you can look for some other career or you go to some other land, or some other state. And when people like Yogi Adityanath are giving you a very clean space, to work with a clean conscience. Why can't you do it? Why don't you get away from these goons, from this underworld? Ashwini, Rhea should be treated as a culprit by everyone. But then, why Farhan calls her as a guest in the wedding? And why nobody looked at her in that way that we do? Here, Ashwini, I would like to clearly tell you that they are all friends. Everybody knows exactly what happened to Sushant that night. As I told you, one of the people working in Pancholi's house was hired by Rhea to work for Sushant. Everybody knows everybody. And don't think that CBI does not know the truth. CBI knows the truth, but they are keeping quiet. Is it under pressure or is it under fear? We do not know. I don't know for what they are paid by the public. And they say they are a federal agency. Please don't call these people stars. Monisha says they are not stars. We should not address them as stars. Absolutely. Well said, Monisha. This time, Gatawod got very bad reply. Public knows everything. SRK is trying to repeat what Big B did after Bofors. He doesn't realize nobody cares about him anymore. Absolutely. See, and also the fact that, see, Maharani has become so old. If you look at him closely, he can't be a hero anymore. Maybe he can play the role of a grandfather, with a grandchild, and go run around trees, but certainly not as a hero. They have all become so old. In one of those, when Salman Khan went to, I think, Saudi or somewhere for his program, and when he was dancing, everybody made fun of his belly, his pot belly. And he got very upset about that. I don't understand why you get upset. After you grow old, your body will slowly go out of shape, Salman. You know, so these are just, this is only nature taking its course. You can't continue to cavort around trees with little girls who are old enough to be your grandchildren. Aryan Khan in the drug case still going out of the series, yes. This Ajay Devgan will now remake Drishyam 2, and they copy scene by scene. Now, here I'd like to tell you, Ankita, that Ram Gopal Verma was saying that these people are fools to make remakes of South Indian films because they will not bring you the money. And recently, Shahid Kapoor's movie also was a big flop, a remake of a South Indian film. So they all know that these remakes are not going to make money for them. There is something, certain things about the South Indian actors that makes their movies sell. And they don't know what the ingredients are. Nitin. Now, 3 Padma Shri advertised similar to drug products. Why President's office does not return back? Yes. I suppose you're talking about Ekta Kapoor, Karan Johar, and Kangana. Boycott, lol. The award shows and Bollywood movie and the OTT shows too. Yes, they do. Gayatri, is the South industry not aware of the movement or they are turning blind? I think when they're paid a lot of money, people change the color of their skin. See, for example, I don't know why an intelligent man like Rajmouli has to even interact with people like Karan Johar. You've brought out an excellent movie like Bahubali. Why do you need the help of these people? Isn't the amount of money that you're making enough? Or greed is taking over? Well said, Gayatri. The devil is then insured insurance for their crimes. I'm sure they have pics of SSR who devastate us. I'm sure this is what the sisters have been threatened with. Reputation of SSR is in their hands. Did not hear Ajay Devgan's name in SSR Diaries. Yeah. There is a show on Netflix, Fame. Is it based on Sri Devi's life story? I watched bits of it. I don't think so, Devashri. And I found it so boring. I mean, the way Madhuri acts, it's kind of rather sickening. Ankita, Alia Bhatt cannot even give an interview properly. My, my 8-year-old can speak better than her. Well said, Ankita. If only Netflix had focused on original content rather than the trash Bollywood, it would have become a big success. Yes. Is Rhea going to get arrested or will she be let free? We have to still wait and see. Shrikacha. Vishkanya, very apt name for this. Yes. Thai should be arrested. Why do they all get bail so easily? Even here, Debashri, I think that, you remember that she was flaunting a cake in one of those pictures. And I'm sure that even that cake would have been laced with drugs. Ashwini, just wondering, SRK's new ad is coming across everywhere on YouTube. Assalam Dubai promotion, becoming faithful with Dubai. He's shown faith to other Islamic countries. Just feel betrayed. Yes, you remember, even for the floods in Pakistan, he paid large amounts. He does nothing, absolutely nothing for anyone in India. That's his loyalty to India. Tom and Jerry, prior to SSR's murder, we used to watch Bollywood and TV serials to entertain ourselves. Now we come to watch Candid Meena to educate ourselves. How sweet, Tom and Jerry. See, we've been forced into this, Tom. See, uh, the mainstream media is not telling you anything. They just stopped reporting about SSR and all the cases that are happening. Even now, Janvi Kukreja's mother tells us what is exactly happening in the courts. And Jia's mother tells us nothing is moving. These people, these politicians don't care a damn, if your child dies. That's how it is. And mainstream media doesn't make it their priority to dig up these cases. They're not bothered about the ordinary death of a middle class child. So it's come to a stage, Tom and Jerry, where you are watching us because only thing is we are trying to expose what's happening, and not become puppets of these politicians. Lakshmi, I feel Smriti Irani, Kiran Rijiju, Piyush Goyal, Gadkari, all are together helping these stars to get away. Without political help, they cannot do all this. There is something certainly wrong, Lakshmi, because I see that when the government itself knows that the CBI, the federal forces are investigating the SSR, the Cha case. So I don't know why some of these politicians are so cozy with these cabal. These production homes are the biggest culprits. They wanted Sushant out. They did not want him in films. They wanted him to be relegated to TV. Why did Smriti Irani not ask a question to Ekta Kapoor? What is going on in this? What is this gang war that you have? Where you gang up against a man who doesn't follow your rules. She never did that. When Sushant died, just like Ekta, she also made a comment. That's it. Because they're all so closely connected. They will not, they will cover the backside. See, many times Ekta Kapoor has had FIRs against her. Karan Johar has had, because of the films they create and the kind of nonsense they spread. It's all fake narrative. And they've been pulled up through FIRs. How do they get out? Who protects them? Obviously, what you said is true, Lakshmi. Ashwini, thank you for addressing. Thank you, Ashwini, for watching us. Karthik, Netflix had brilliant shows like The Crown. Yes, This Is Us and others. Why they compromised so much when they entered India? Absolutely. Well said, Karthik. Miru, Aminu, pure soul like Sushant was born with a mission to reveal dirty secrets of Gutterwood. And that's why Bollywood is suffering. We all thought that, everybody said that, you remember that scene where Sushant was sort of kicked by Salman Khan, so that he would trip. These people thought that Sushant was a nothing. They picked up fights with him. They mocked him. They tried to put him in a Me Too movement when you know that he's a gentleman. We've seen the way he deals with women. He's not the kind of sleazy man that we see amongst this cabal. And and they say that, see, nobody really bothers about him. But look, it's his doing that has made you all bankrupt today. Today, you don't have any movies to talk about. Even with one Pathan, you're struggling, SRK. Look at Salman. Salman just wonders that why his movies don't click. So this is all destiny. If you do something bad to others, it will hit you. And see, this is Kali Yuga. You cannot get away from it. Now, Rhea is number A-lister, no star kid, but is highly supported by Kabal. This enough is big proof. Now, Shahnaz is going her way. She will be ruined or was already ruined. It's a similar case. Siddharth is also, Siddharth Shukla's death is a similar case. They never showed the body. They never said exactly what happened. They never showed even his face. And everything was hush-hush during the filmation. Maharani. There were rumors that SSR's murder was shown on the dark web. Not sure if that's true. Very possible, Maharani, because they get a lot of money from the dark web. And here it's a very well planned murder. Not only in SSR's case, also in the case of Disha and many other deaths after that. They are making money through darknet. And we all know who controls darknet in India. It's a politician. Ranas are not getting bail, but Rhea and others get bail so easily. What was Rana's fault? Just chanting Hanuman Chalisa? Really pathetic. Absolutely. Well said. Pinky, absolutely right. CBI knows every bit of the truth, but they too are under tremendous pressure. Unless and until penguins fall, as government SSR case won't move an inch. Yes. Manisha, why God is doing all these things? Why not punishing bad people and saving good people? Now here, Manisha, the whole session is about divine justice. People are suffering, So there is something big happening here. Did you ever think that there would be a time when a movie by Salman Khan or SRK would not become a hit? Every college boy or every college girl would rush to see his film. Now nobody is interested. That itself is divine justice. People are no longer interested in these fake people who call themselves stars. They all create an aura of nothing. They're all hollow people. Apurva. A handsome SSR was a threat to many careers and business and was a storehouse of many big ugly secrets, it seems. So eliminated. Yes. Lanka. Why SRK is doing ads about Dubai? Their friends are also from Pakistan. Their loyalties lie outside India. It's very clear, Lanka. Mujahid. All the cocaine SRK consumes obviously makes them age faster. Karthik. Sudha, Rhea should be hired by Ekta for playing Nagin next. She'll suit the role perfectly. All this, Karthik, these stories, all humbug, but they just corrupt society. Mahesh Bhatt looked very pale in this wearing pics. Karma is hitting back. Heard he is very ill. Now here, let me tell you one thing. You know the reason why Mahesh Bhatt's daughter is hooked on to Ranbir Kapoor? It is because they wanted a whitewashing of their family. And they thought the best thing would be to marry into the house of Raj Kapoor. By getting into Raj Kapoor's family, they thought they could be very well whitewashed. Now they're talking about legacy and ancestry and all that, and saying that Alia has become a part of the family. If you look at the couple, you'll find that there's absolutely no happiness in their eyes. They know that this is only like a contract, nothing more. Even before the wedding is over, they're promoting Brahmastra. Do you think anybody will watch these two stars who cannot act? Nobody will. It's another flop, even before it starts. Ma'am, do you get? Maharani, remakes are just an attempt to convert black money to white. Tom and Jerry, the Smriti knows everything. Knows, yes. Ankita, yes. South actors are rooted in their culture. Yes, you're right, ma'am. They have something special which these bullies don't have. Karthik, between the 50s and 70s, there was very healthy association between Hindi cinema and South film industry. There were plenty of remakes from Hindi to South and vice versa. In fact, here, Karthik, and I'd also like to mention a good point that you said. You remember, even music directors at that time, used to exchange notes, and also remake a lot of the songs that were, huge successes in Tamil Nadu. So whether they were Shivaji Ganeshan songs or MGR songs, they would be remade into Hindi, and they would also become huge success. So there was, as you said, a very healthy, sort of relationship between them. Nitin, Shah Rukh Khan, Ajay, and Akshay promoting Vimal Gutka and forcing youngsters to edit. See, the funny thing is, Nitin, is that see they know what they're doing is wrong, but the greed for money overtakes everything. And then they want to make a huge drama and say that, see, we are sorry and all that, while the money has all been sent to wherever they want, whether it's Dubai or UK or USA. They park their money or in all these places where many of the places which are tax free. So it's all hypocrisy. They don't care a damn whether your youngsters, are addicted or not. Drugs are sold outside colleges, outside institutes and schools. Drugs are put into certain food, like cakes. You don't even realize when you take drugs. You, there are so many illegal ways of doing this. So it's all very frightening. So you don't even expect anything from these people. Telugu directors like Ravikant Nagaj, T. Ram Rao were very popular in Hindi too. Yes. Karthik, most of the Hindi films, especially Jitendra movies, were made in Chennai. Yes. Ankita, firstly, they have to educate themselves to give better interviews or at least have good upbringing to know how to speak without offending people. Well said, Moonchild. Raghav. Are Rani serious this time of claim that CBI will come in May or June in SSR case? We really don't know, Raghav. See, I'm just waiting for something that they say to come true. Yes, SRK ads should be banned by YouTube. Yes. Maharani. Jitendra was the darling of South directors. At least those films were watchable, danceable for Bapi's music. Tom. Sonu Nigam was asked to leave India and move to Dubai after he talked against Azan. Now he says, ironically, Tom, he says that the best person is Javed Akhtar. So you know on which side he is now. Maharani, Meena Jay, I feel sad for all the mothers that are continuing to fight. Absolutely. May the Shakti be with these brave moms. Madam, like they made a public demonstration for justice to SSR a month back in Delhi, why can't they do for Jia and Janvi? SSR was even uncovering the truth about Jia's death. Yes, absolutely. Smriti has no balls to stand up for the truth. She's a two-faced. Everything is a drama. Maharani. Also heard Karan Johar will come back with his Coffee with Karan, and his first guest, Maharani, will be Alia and her hubby. Manisha, please, Meenaji, don't call them stars because they're not. Sure. Rightly said, Lakshmi, the politician, Bollywood underworld nexus is strong in Mumbai. This unholy structure needs to be dismantled. Joshi, Bollywood is enjoying back to entertainment with fake smile, drug parties, same to square one, Bechara Sushant died. Maharani, I watched many interviews of SSR. He was always very sweet, yes, polite, a gentleman. SSR's death was really opened up our eyes to all the crap in Bollywood. SSR has given the whole of Bollywood sleepless nights. Namaste, ma'am, and candid welcome, Sensible Life. Bindya, We may not find all these gutter Woodians behind the bars for sure, but divine justice is much more powerful. None of them will ever be off the grips of their own karma. Jaisi karni, vaisi bharni. Yes. Sid's death was murder too. Absolutely. Someone should make a similar show with Chai and call Kejo and drill him about his sexuality. One morning, one more thing which I've been looking for says Ashwini, I will look for within the years was New World Order and foreign celebs are also a part of it. Also, Indian celebrates. See, it was faster gains through anti God. Yes, all a part of the George Soros group. Joshi, nobody is rested if Sushant's case is closed. They're giving a wrong message to people. Daro Mafiasi. Yes, so scary. Anuradha, brilliant. CM Eddie. Thanks, I know. It's shameful that these shitty politicians control the dark net. My intuition speaking, SSR life wanted end, ended to reveal things. My intuition speaking, SSR's life wanted to reveal things. Yes. The secret society is running from 17th century and it took a bigger look in modern days. Michael Jackson also had a suspicious death since he was going to expose the truth of anti-God practices. In fact, Ashwini, we have done a session on this if you'd like to look at it. Earlier session. True, he wanted to reveal something. We are waiting for divine justice. Please watch the session. Sensible, I think you came in the middle. What about those missing hard disks? So true, Bollywood has shown the real face. I pray SSR gets justice every waking moment. Today I was reading the book by Dolores Cannon, and the book was written in 87, where Nostradamus spoke about an international cabal. Yes. The negative eye, evil eye symbols being used by Saif Ali Khan's production, for example, Love Aajkal movie, he also uses negative eye symbols, two finger symbol in Ready, Big Boss, and everywhere. Yes, Ashwini. Very true. Niri, SRK owns a huge villa here in Dubai on Palm Island. There are drives that contain documents, proofs of ugly business of the Gutterwood that SSR had complied. Jersey is a big flop. One of the copy is with Deepthi Madam, rest with the criminal minds. Always believed in a higher power, Meenaji. Justice will come in some way. All the fakers will be unmasked. Yes. This felt like a sham wedding. And what is this with Tejasvi Prakash, Karan Kundra, and Shreya in Netflix? Some nepotism happening. They are all jokers. Previously, I'm interested in Bollywood stars' weddings. Now, not even caring whom. Lanka Krishna. Well said. Welcome, Jashwant. Maharani Kapoors are tainted themselves, but everyone looked very uninterested in the latest wedding. Nawab Beti kisko pakadegi aisi? She's greedy because of her. SSR lost his life. You're talking about Sara Ali Khan, I assume. Ashwini. There are 2 to 3 volumes called Conversations with Nostradamus. Read with an open mind, as Dolores is an expert on past life regressions and many don't believe in it. Sensible. Karthik, yes, a very good series like Malgudi Days. The quality is lost. No proper Mehndi, no Sindoor, no Chura ceremony, only 4 Feras. Sham Wedding by Alia. Internationally, Katy Perry. They clearly show blood and lot of evil acts in their song. This is instructed by the Illuminati. Saif Ali Khan have crossed limits that he named his production as Illuminati. Ashwini, again, I'd like to repeat, we've done quite a few series on the Illuminati. So in case you'd like to look at them, they are in our past videos. Ankita, all these communist actors of Bollywood are glorified in Pakistan, Khans and Kapoors. Very true. Most of the technicians of Hindi cinema are also from South, yes. Mahesh Bhatt stopped Alia from taking the last fera. What sort of marriage is it? Do they believe in it? Are they Hindus? This is the question. Please, Runaway 334 or Hero Panthi 2B, flop Banao, yeah. Runaway 34 or Hero Panthi 2, we flop Banao, yeah, okay. Meena ma'am, you should teach us a course on investigate. I've watched your videos on evil acts. Ma'am, they help me a lot in getting more facts about realizing the truth. Welcome, Ashwini. Yes, Sonu was alleged to be having an affair with Smita. Even Style Rug covered it. Sonu was alleged to be having an affair with Smita. Which Smita, Karthik? Yeah, are you talking about Thackeray? Smita Thackeray? So I think that's about it for tonight. So good night, friends. I'll see you tomorrow with another session. Good night. Thank you, Karthik.